Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Sounds Like Bimes. My name is Jason Bima. Thanks for being here. We're going to get started today with our first exercise to get our right hand and left hand going playing guitar. If you happen to see my very first video, we just took a broad overview of the guitar components, how we generate sound on the guitar. We talked about pickups, acoustic versus electric, how the frets and strings are laid out, where we fret notes on the guitar, and how we fret them and combine those notes to make chords versus single note stuff. Okay, so if you want to go check that video out, feel free to. But we're going to get started today with an exercise I call odds and evens, and that's just to get our right hand and our left hand going and working together. Start building that strength in our left hand when we're not used to making these shapes. You'll notice your hand is going to start cramping a little bit when you are playing for a while. Your fingertips are going to get sore. If you're new to playing guitar, that's completely normal. So for those of you who didn't watch my first video, again, I'm Jason. I'm a longtime guitar player, teacher, producer, songwriter. I work at an elementary school the last 5 years, and working with kids has really inspired me to get back into guitar education. And just the way that they're so enthusiastic about new things, and everything is like they're so pumped about learning anything that you put in front of them. It's kind of reignited my passion for music and kind of reminded me of why I started playing, and reminded me of who I was back when I started playing. And I was thirsty for knowledge, but I didn't really know until I started taking lessons. I didn't really know where to start on the guitar and how to approach it. So much has changed since I was a kid. We have the internet at our disposal now. There are so many tools that you can use learning to play an instrument. Any song you ever want to learn is on YouTube. There are in-depth tutorials about anything you want to know. But a lot of that can still be a little overwhelming to people who are just starting out. So the idea with my channel is I want to focus on people who are just starting, who don't even really know, how do I fret a note? Where do I put my finger exactly? Do I put it on the fret? Do I put it on this side or that side? Those kind of things are really what I want to cover at the get-go here, and kind of lay that foundation to get you going, and we're going to start building on that, okay? So today is the first step. Other than a working guitar, you're going to need a tuner and a metronome as well. You can get by without it for starters, because we're only going to be working on one string, which is the low E string. You do need a tuner and a metronome moving forward. We always want to practice with a metronome. That's the little clicker that you might have seen, kind of the obelisk shaped thing, old school types that sat on the desk with the pendulum that swung back and forth. Now we have digital metronomes and online metronomes. If you search for a free online metronome, you will find this guy. You can toggle the metronome on and off with this button. You can adjust the tempo with this slider. I believe it runs from 40 to 218 BPM. You also have the plus and minus icons. You can adjust tempo that way. But this is a great free tool to use for a metronome. You can use it on your phone, your desktop, your laptop. As far as tuners go, I have a little clip-on tuner on my acoustic right now. This clips on the headstock, and it senses the string that you're playing by the vibrations in the neck, and then it will tell you to adjust sharp or flat until you get where you want to go. I also have a digital tuner that I use called Simply Tune, which is a great little free tuner. You may have heard of the Simply family of products, Simply Guitar, Simply Piano. It's under that family of products, and it's a great little digital tuner. It will tune you from low E to high E, or you can select the string that you want to tune to. So those are some suggestions to get you started if you don't have a tuner or metronome at this point. So another technique-related thing I wanted to touch on is where the guitar sits or hangs in relation to our body, our hand position. I want to talk a little bit about that. Our thumb and how our thumb works to stabilize our hand when we're playing guitar. So if you are playing standing up, you want to adjust your strap so the guitar fits approximately where it would be in your lap if you're sitting down, okay? You'll see, rock bands with their guitars strung way down low. It looks cool. It's very hard to play that way, at least when you're a beginner. I would recommend hanging the guitar where you can comfortably access all the strings across the fretboard, okay? If the guitar is way down here, you're gonna have a hard time wrapping your hand around the fretboard. And a point related to that, as far as hand position, I always tell people, I tell students, imagine someone's handing you a ball. Okay, they're gonna put a ball in your hand. You wanna curve your hand. Imagine that ball going into your hand. You don't hold your hand flat, the ball's gonna roll out, right? We want our hand curved. That's very important because as we start playing and learning chords, you see how my hand is kind of curved up off the fretboard so I can access these lower strings. If my hand is laying flat, I get this. I get deadening these lower strings. I get fingers on these strings where I don't want them. If I'm pressing my hand flat, we want to get in the habit of curving that hand up. So again, imagine you're receiving a ball from someone, curve your hand. So right from the get-go, I want you to think about curving your fingers up off the fretboard. That way we're going to be able to access these strings further down at the bottom of the chord, okay? Because a lot of times we're going to be using this first finger to play strings further down. So you don't want your fingers flat here or they're going to be laying on these strings down here and deadening them. We have to get our hand curved up off the fretboard. Your thumb should be approximately midway down the neck, about so. That's going to give our fingers stability and strength to play all these notes. We want to keep our fingers essentially parallel with the frets, straight up and down. Occasionally, you know, I play a chord, I'll play this bar chord, but I'll play it like this. Then you see my hand laying kind of flat, but we mostly want to keep our fingers parallel to the fretboard, okay? Like so, parallel to the frets. If you're playing sitting down, if we're seated, we want our shoulders back. Same as if we're standing up, we don't want to be slouching down over the guitar. But we want the guitar straight up and down in our lap. A lot of my beginner students especially, they want to lay the guitar down on their lap because they can see the fretboard easier that way, which is very understandable. But as you can tell, that makes it nearly impossible to get under the guitar and wrap around. We don't play the guitar laying on our lap unless you're playing lap steel or something like that. Or Jeff Healey, the amazing Jeff Healey, used to lay it on his lap and play like that. Generally speaking, you know, exceptions to every rule, but we want to have the guitar sitting straight up in our lap. So just comfortable shoulders back, no slouching. You can peer over you will peer over at first to find notes, but as you get more comfortable, you'll be able to feel that. You'll be able to feel the B string, the G string. You won't have to look where you're going. We have position markers on top of the neck as well as on the neck itself, on the fretboard. That's what the position markers are for on top. That's the idea, is if it's sitting upright on our lap or if we're standing playing, we can see these position markers to orient ourselves where we're at on the neck, okay? We're going to talk about this first exercise, which I mentioned earlier. I call this odds and evens. Our fingers, when we talk about fingers on the left hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. Occasionally we'll reference the thumb, depending on the size of your hands and just how you've learned. People will bring their thumb over the top of the guitar sometimes. I'll bring my thumb here for an F sharp, for example, in this D chord. Okay, I'll play that F sharp there. I might bring my thumb here for this kind of chord. You know, those of you who know Jimi Hendrix, if you watch footage of Jimmy playing, he used his thumb a lot over the top of the neck. You'll see guitar players definitely do that. I will also use my thumb to mute a string. So if I don't want this top E string to ring, I'll lay my thumb on it like so. That's a pretty common technique. We'll get to all that stuff, guys, but for this exercise, we are using our first finger, our index finger, okay? It's called odds and evens. So how this works, we're going to set the metronome very slowly to start. We're going to play quarter notes on the metronome, okay? What that means is I'm going to set this metronome at about 65. This is the digital metronome I just showed you. it's going to sound about here. This is going to be our tempo, okay? Quarter notes at that tempo. So we're playing one note per click, basically, okay? 4 clicks, 4 quarter notes make up a bar or a measure, and we're going to play each fret for 2 measures. So that's going to be 8 beats total in tempo with that metronome. We're using all downstrokes as well. There are downstrokes down toward the floor. There are upstrokes up toward the ceiling, okay? When we combine those, we have alternate picking, which is down, up, down, up, down, up. We're going to get to that eventually. Today, for our purposes, we're only using downstrokes. We're only using our index finger. So say we start with evens. We're going to start with this low E. Open E will be our first note, okay? 1, 2, ready, play. Quarter notes, downstrokes with that open E. 2 measures. Then we go to 2nd fret, okay? We're doing even numbers here. 2 measures on 2nd fret. 4th fret, only our index finger. We want to focus on staying in time. 6th fret. We want to focus on how that feels to fret that note cleanly. We want to get that feel ingrained in our brain. 8th fret. Very basic exercise, guys, but if you've never played before, 10th fret. It's going to get your stamina going in your left hand, fretting these notes. 12th fret. It's going to get your accuracy happening where you're targeting a particular fret. Okay, then we're going to go back down. 10. It's going to get your right hand picking technique happening. Okay. 8th fret. 6th fret. We have a tendency to rush when we're playing with a metronome. So I really want you to focus on staying on beat with those quarter notes. Down, down, down. 2nd fret. That completes the evens. Let's start with odds now. So we're starting on the 1st fret. So we're going to go 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. 3. Nice and steady. 5. 7th fret. 9th fret. 11th fret. Then as before, we're going to go back down, okay? So we'll go 9, 7, 5, 3, back to 1. When you get comfortable with 2 measures of quarter notes, you're going to repeat that sequence, but we're doing 1 measure of quarter notes now, okay? So we're going to have to shift our finger a little faster. So with evens again, I'm just going to play a couple notes, a couple frets to show you what I mean. So evens, we'll start open E, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 4, 2, 3, 4 to 6. Okay, makes sense? 8, 10, 12, back to 10, and we're going to work our way back down, okay? When we get back to 2, then we go odds. We start at 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. 9, 7, 5, 3, 1. Okay, makes sense? Now, when you've mastered that, when you feel like you got a handle on that, you want to increase the speed of the metronome, okay? I'm going to turn this up to, you probably want to increase it 5 to 10 BPM. I'm going to go up to 100 just for an example. So it's going to look like this now. 2 measures of evens. Okay? Same principle. When we've mastered 2 measures, we're going to go to 1 measure. Odds will look like this: 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Okay? When you have that under your belt and you're feeling good, you can take that metronome up until you're, right? We're going to increase our tempo that way. You can do it that way. You can also go to your second finger, and then your third, and then your fourth. We want to drill all these fingers, okay? Because we eventually have to get all 4 of our fingers working, strengthened, get accuracy built, get stamina built. So that's a good starter. Start with your first, do 2 measures of quarter notes, then 1 measure of quarter notes for each fret, and then you can work your way up from there with tempo, or you can go to your second finger and repeat that same sequence with your second, then your third, and then your pinky, okay? That's all that I want to give you for now, because we want to start very slowly. I want to build very gradually. So you can experiment with different iterations of that exercise, combining different fingers, different ranges of tempos. You can eventually get to doing quarter notes. Oops. Okay, all that kind of thing. You can combine the tempo and what finger you're using, how many beats you're going to play each fret for, okay? Experiment with it. Give yourself time. Like I said, you will get sore, crampy, you'll need to stop, your fingers will start to hurt a little bit, completely natural. If you can just practice this for 10 minutes a day, for starters, you will be shocked at how quickly you start progressing. Again, we're doing all down strokes in the beginning. We'll start working in up strokes and then eventually alternate picking. There's a lot of things you can do with this exercise, but I just wanted to give you a little bit to get started with this today. So any questions you have, leave in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to you, and I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope you'll give it a shot, and it will get you on your way if you've never played guitar before. This is a great starting point just to get left hand, right hand working together. And we'll go from there, guys. I hope you subscribe and come back. I'll be posting about once a week, and we're going to work our way up the ladder till we learn how to play this thing, okay? Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.